Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I hope all of you are doing well and preparing seriously for your UGC NET Criminology examinations. Remember, every theory you learn is not just important for passing an exam, it helps you understand the real world around you. Crime is not only about law and punishment, crime is also about people, emotions, culture, media, symbols, and meanings. Today's topic, Cultural Criminology, helps us understand exactly that. So stay with me until the end because this is one of the most interesting contemporary perspectives in criminology. And after watching this video, you will be able to answer both theoretical and application based questions in examination. Traditionally, criminologists try to explain crime by focusing on poverty, social structure, biological factors, psychological problems, or lack of social control. However, many scholars felt that these explanations were missing something very important. They notice that crime is often influenced by culture, identity, style, emotions, media representations, and the meanings that people attach to their actions. This led to the development of cultural criminology during the 1990s. Cultural criminology is a contemporary criminological perspective that studies the relationship between crime, culture, media, and society. It argues that crime cannot be fully understood unless we understand the cultural environment in which people live. The theory was mainly developed by criminologists such as Ferrell, Keith Hayward, Jock, and Mike Presdee. These scholars believe that crime is not simply a violation of law. It is often connected with excitement, identity, resistance, emotions, media influence, and cultural values. In simple words, cultural criminology asks questions such as why do some people commit crime to gain status or recognition? Why are certain behaviors considered criminal in one culture but acceptable in another? How does media influence our perception of crime? Why do some crimes become sensational news while others receive little attention? These are the questions that cultural criminology attempt to answer. According to cultural criminology, crime and crime control are cultural products. This means that both criminals and law enforcement agencies operate within cultural environments. People do not simply commit crimes because they are poor or because they lack self control. Sometimes they commit crimes because they want excitement, adventure, recognition, respect, identity, or social acceptance within a particular group. Think about a teenager who participates in dangerous street racing. He may know that the act is illegal, yet he does it because it provides thrill, status among his friends, and a sense of identity. Cultural criminologists argue that understanding these meanings is crucial for understanding crime itself. Similarly, society reacts to crime through cultural lenses. Media reports, social media discussions, films, television programs, and public opinions all shape how people perceive criminals and victims. Therefore, crime is not just a legal event, it is also a cultural event. One of the most important concepts in cultural criminology is meaning. The theory argues that individuals attach meanings to their actions. A person who paints graffiti on a wall may not see himself as a criminal. He may see himself as an artist expressing frustration or creativity. Another important concept is edge work. This refers to activities that involves risk, danger, and excitement. Some individuals engage in illegal activities because they enjoy the thrill that comes from operating at the edge between safety and danger. The theory also emphasizes media influence. Modern media continuously creates images of crime, criminals, victims, and law enforcement. These images affect public attitudes and sometimes even influence criminal behavior itself. Cultural criminologists also discuss resistance. Certain acts of crime can be seen as forms of rebellion against social norms, authority, or inequality. Most importantly, the theory studies emotions, fear, anger, excitement, humiliation, pride, and thrill all play significant roles in criminal behavior. Today, social media has become one of the strongest cultural influences in society. Many young people spend hours consuming online content. Sometimes crime becomes itself a form of performance. Individual record fight dangerous stunts, vandalism, or harassment and upload them online to gain attention. Cultural criminology explains that media does not simply report crime, it actively shapes crime and public reactions to crime. Movies, television series, news channels, and social media platforms often create narratives about criminals. Some criminals are portrayed as monsters, while others are portrayed as heroes or rebels. As a result, public understanding of crime often comes from media representations rather than direct experience. In recent years, several young people in India have been involved in risky social media challenges involving train tricks. In recent years, several young people in India have been involved in risky social media challenges involving train tracks, motorcycle stunts, dangerous selfies, and reckless driving. Many participants knew the risks involved, yet they continued because they wanted online recognition, likes, followers, and social status. Traditional criminological theories may explain these actions partially. However, cultural criminology helps us understand the deeper cultural motivations behind such behavior. The desire for visibility, excitement, and online identity becomes central. The crime or risky act is not only about breaking rules, it is about achieving cultural recognition. One important Indian example that can be understood through cultural criminology is the boys' locker room incident. A group of young individuals use social media platforms to share offensive content, objectify women, and discuss harmful behavior. From a cultural criminological perspective, the case demonstrates how online culture can influence attitudes and behavior. Digital spaces create subcultures where individuals seek acceptance from peers. Certain harmful behaviors become normalized within these groups. The case shows that crime and deviance are increasingly shaped by internet culture, peer approval, and digital identity. This perfectly supports the argument of cultural criminology that culture and communication technologies significantly influence behavior. Several incidents of mob violence in India have been linked to misinformation spread through messaging applications and social media platforms. In many cases, false rumors regarding child kidnappers or criminal gangs spread rapidly among communities. Fear and panic developed, resulting in violent attacks on innocent people. Cultural criminologists would argue that these incidents cannot be understood merely as individual criminal acts. They are products of cultural narratives, collective informations, digital communication, and media driven fear. The crime emerges from shared beliefs and cultural meanings created within communities. Cities such as Delhi, Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Hyderabad have witnessed cases of illegal street racing. Participants often belong to groups where speed, risk taking, bravery, and reputation are highly valued. For many races, the activity is not merely transportation, it becomes a symbol of identity and social status. Cultural criminology explains that the thrill, excitement, peer recognition, and symbolic meaning attached to racing are essential for understanding why such crimes occur. The focus shifts from what law was broken to what cultural meaning did the act have for the offender. Although graffiti is less common in India than in some Western countries, Examples can be found in metropolitan areas where individuals paint walls, bridges, and public spaces. Authorities may classify these acts as vandalism. However, the individuals involved may view them as artistic expression, political protest, or resistance. Cultural criminology studies both perspectives. It seeks to understand the meaning attached to the act by those who commit it. Today, we live in a digital world where culture spreads faster than ever before. Trends emerge overnight, videos become viral within hours, social media influences attitudes, behaviors, identity, and even criminal activities. Cultural criminology is therefore more relevant today than ever before. Cyberbullying, online harassment, hate speech, internet fraud, extremist online communities, and digital vigilantism all involve cultural processes. The theory helps us understand that crime is increasingly linked between communication, symbolism, and media representation. Dear UGC NET aspirants, whenever you study contemporary criminological theories, try to connect them with modern society. Examiners often ask application-based questions rather than simple definitions. So if you understand how a theory explains real-life events, then you will never forget it. Like every other theory, this theory has also faced criticism. One criticism is that it focuses too much on culture and symbolism while ignoring economic and structural factors such as poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Some scholars argue that not all crimes are driven by excitement, identity, or cultural meaning. Financial crimes, organized crimes, and corruption often involve economic motivation that cultural criminology may not adequately explain. Another criticism is that the theory sometimes romanticizes offenders by focusing on their creativity, emotions, and resistance instead of the harm caused to victims. Critics also argue that cultural criminology is difficult to test scientifically because concepts such as meaning, identity, and emotions are often subjective. Some researchers believe that the theory provides rich descriptions but does not always offer practical solutions for crime prevention. Despite these criticisms, the theory remains highly influential because it provides insights into aspects of crime that traditionally theories often overlook. For UGC NET students, remember one key point: the cultural criminology studies the interaction between crime, culture, media, emotions, symbolism, and identity. So, whenever you see examination questions about media influence on crime, youth subcultures, social media behavior, identity formation, risk taking activities, or symbolic meanings attached to crime, cultural criminology can be an excellent theoretical framework. Understanding this theory will help you write richer and more analytical answers. So, cultural theory is a contemporary criminological perspective that examines how culture, media, emotions, identity, and symbolism shape crime and social reactions to crime. This was developed primarily by Jeff Ferrell and other contemporary scholars. The theory challenges traditional explanation that focus only on social structure or individual characters. It teaches us that crime is not simply a legal violation. Crime is also a cultural phenomenon. People commit acts for reasons that include excitement, recognition, resistance, belonging, identity, and meaning. In today's world of social media, digital communities, viral content, and rapidly changing cultural trends, cultural criminology provides valuable tools for understanding modern forms of crime and deviance. And to all my UGC NET aspirants watching this video, remember that success comes from consistent learning. As I say this in every video of mine, every theory you master brings you one step closer to your goal. So keep studying, keep believing in yourself, and never underestimate your ability to success. Your hard work today will become your achievement tomorrow. And thank you for watching. If you found this lecture useful, do like, share and subscribe to the channel. We will continue exploring important criminological theories and help you prepare effectively for your examination. See you in the next lecture.